Money did not disappear. It moved, quietly. While most people were watching headlines, layoffs, and inflation numbers, a different group was building income in places no one was looking at. Not celebrities, not hedge fund managers, ordinary people with ordinary backgrounds who understood one thing early. The rules changed, and they stopped playing the old game. For decades, money followed effort. Hours worked, degrees earned, titles climbed. That system is fading, not collapsing in one dramatic moment, but dissolving slowly, like ink in water. The people winning today are not working harder, they are positioning better. They are not louder, they are not famous, they are invisible by design. One example looks like a freelancer who used to sell time, writing, design, editing. The income was capped. Then AI arrived. Instead of competing with it, they turned it into leverage. One person now produces what used to take 10. Same skill set, completely different output. They stopped charging per hour and started charging per system. What looks like a normal person on the outside is quietly running a machine underneath. Another example is someone with no audience and no brand, no social media presence, no viral content. They noticed that businesses were overwhelmed by tools they did not understand: CRMs, automation, AI workflows, analytics dashboards. This person learned just enough to connect systems together, not to invent, not to code deeply, just to make things work. Businesses pay monthly for stability. The income is boring, predictable, and growing. Nothing flashy, very profitable. There are people doing this inside companies too. Same salary on paper, completely different power. They automate internal processes, remove friction, and quietly become irreplaceable. Not because they work late, but because they understand systems. When budgets tighten, they stay. When others leave, they absorb leverage. Promotions follow silently. What connects all these stories is not talent or luck, it is orientation. They stopped asking how to make more money by doing more. They started asking how money moves now. They noticed that capital flows towards scalability, repeatability, and ownership. Even small ownership, even partial control, even digital ownership. The internet used to reward attention. Now it rewards infrastructure, tools, pipelines, systems that run while people sleep. AI accelerated this shift brutally. Tasks lost value. Coordination gained value. Execution became cheap. Direction became expensive. The people making the most money right now often look unimpressive on the surface. No luxury lifestyle online, no motivational speeches. They build quietly. They stack small advantages, they reinvest early income into better tools, better workflows, better distribution. Compounding does the rest. This is why the gap feels confusing. Two people with the same education, same city, same age, one is stuck, one is accelerating. The difference is not intelligence, it is understanding where leverage lives in the current economy. Old money paths were visible: promotions, salaries, titles. New money paths are hitting inside dashboards, back-end systems, and digital assets that do not look impressive to outsiders. That invisibility is not a bug, it is the feature. The biggest shift is psychological: letting go of validation, letting go of traditional progress markers, accepting that income no longer matches effort in a clean line. It matches positioning, timing, and system design. Ordinary people are not secretly smarter, they are simply aligned with how money actually works now. While others debate the future, they build inside it, quietly, consistently, and by the time it becomes obvious, the gap is already too large to close quickly. This is not a trend, it is a transition, and the people who understand it early do not announce it. They let the numbers speak later. They also understand something most people miss. Stability no longer comes from employers, governments, or even industries. It comes from control over small systems that generate value repeatedly. One automated workflow, one distribution channel, one skill paired with software that multiplies output. None of these look impressive alone. Together, they quietly replace dependence. Another pattern appears again and again. These people move faster not because they rush, but because they decide earlier. While others wait for certainty, they experiment. While others ask for permission, they prototype. They treat income like a product, not a reward. If it does not scale, they redesign it. If it breaks, they fix it. If it depends on one platform, one client, or one trend, they reduce that risk immediately. They also consume information differently. Less news, less noise, more specifics. Tutorials instead of opinions. Case studies instead of predictions. They watch what actually works in small corners of the internet, not what is shouted on the main stage. By the time something becomes mainstream, they are already exiting or delegating it to a system. There are teachers quietly earning more from digital products than from classrooms, analysts who turned internal company dashboards into external SaaS tools, marketers who stopped chasing virality and focused on evergreen funnels that convert every day without attention. None of them look rich in public. All of them control cash flow privately. What makes this uncomfortable is that effort is no longer a reliable signal. Hard work still matters, but only when applied in the right direction. You can work endlessly inside a shrinking structure and get nowhere, or you can work briefly inside a growing system and compound for years. The market does not care about fairness. It rewards alignment. This is why many people feel exhausted yet stagnant. They are productive inside outdated frameworks, busy inside systems that no longer scale. The winners stepped outside those frameworks early, not dramatically, just quietly, one tool at a time, one automation at a time, one shift in how they think about value. Money now follows those who reduce friction, who save time for others, who turn complexity into simplicity, who package outcomes instead of hours. AI did not create this change, it exposed it. It removed the illusion that effort alone is enough. The future belongs to people who design leverage, not chase labor, who understand that income is built, not granted, who accept that invisibility today often leads to freedom tomorrow. Ordinary people are not waiting for permission anymore. They are building beneath the surface. And by the time most people notice where the money went, it's already working for someone else. They also learn to separate identity from income. This is another quiet advantage. When your sense of self is not tied to a job title or a single profession, adaptability becomes easier. You can pivot without panic. You can drop what no longer works without feeling like you failed. Many ordinary people who are now earning far more than expected made uncomfortable moves early. They left stable paths. They accepted temporary uncertainty. They chose flexibility over prestige. Another common trait is patience combined with aggression. Not emotional aggression, but strategic pressure applied in short bursts. They move intensely for weeks or months, build something small but functional, then let it run. While others grind daily without direction, these people alternate between focus and distance. Build, step back, observe, adjust. This rhythm prevents burnout and allows compounding to do the heavy lifting. There is also a shift in how they view risk. Traditional thinking treats risk as something to avoid. New money treats risk as something to divide. Instead of one big bet, they create many small ones. A few experiments fail, one works. That one pays for the rest. Over time, the downside becomes limited and the upside remains open. This is how ordinary people slowly detach from financial anxiety without dramatic breakthroughs. Technology plays a role, but not in the way most people imagine. They are not chasing every new tool. They are selecting a few and mastering integration. One AI model connected to one workflow, one platform connected to one audience, simplicity over novelty, reliability over hype. This discipline is what turns tools into income instead of distractions. They also understand timing differently. They don't rush to monetize everything immediately. Sometimes they build skills quietly. Sometimes they build assets without revenue. They allow foundations to form before extraction.
When money finally enters the system, it does so smoothly, without desperation. This patience is rare, and it is one of the most powerful advantages. Social comparison fades in importance. When your income comes from private systems, comparing yourself to public lifestyles becomes irrelevant. You stop measuring success by appearances and start measuring it by control. Control over time, control over output, control over decisions. This internal metric keeps them grounded while others chase validation. Over time, these ordinary people stop asking how to get rich. That question belongs to the old mindset. Instead, they ask how to stay adaptable, how to stay relevant, how to stay optional. Wealth becomes a byproduct, not the goal. This is why the shift feels invisible. There is no single moment, no announcement, no clear line between before and after, just a gradual divergence.